Alright, here I am. I'm back at my parents' house. I took the Civic LXS back this time for the 2-hour trip, not the S2000. I got my mountain bike in the back of that with the seats folded down. Today is July 3rd. Yesterday, I went through quite a hassle getting this car inspected. I just want to walk you guys through what happened to me to make sure it doesn't happen to any of you guys. As you can see, I do have an updated New York State inspection, good to 2017, so I did eventually get it to pass. So what happened was I had an appointment at like 10:15 in the morning at the Honda dealership nearby to get this car inspected, and I have a method for getting it inspected that I've used the last 2 years, and it's worked out no problem. I had the Flashpro unit with me, and I got to the parking lot at 10:15 after my 2-hour trip back here. Since the SI was sitting in this garage at my parents' house, since I put the new transmission in, so I took the Civic LXS back to my parents. I hopped in the SI. It was like 10 o'clock. I got to the Honda dealership just in time. I was in their parking lot. I'm like, alright, great. All I have to do is flash this older base map onto the car, which sets all the readiness monitors to complete. Because right now, it's tuned by VitViper, and the newer style calibrations that he sends out, they're also updated from Hondata, I believe, too, but they don't pass inspection because the readiness monitors, I think, for the catalyst, for the cat and whatnot, emissions, they say incomplete, and they will never set. And I found that out the hard way. I drove the car 500 aimless miles like 2 years ago trying to get the monitors to set. And then I contacted Vit, and he's like, yeah, okay, they're never going to set. This tune will not pass inspection. So luckily I have an old base map. So long story short, I was in the parking lot. I was ready to go. It was like 10:13 at the time. I'm like, great, I have 90 seconds. That's all it's going to take for the Flashpro to put the different tune on the car. And what I do is, on the Flashpro, I have my tune for inspection. I have the old base map saved on here as the secondary calibration, because you can store 2 calibrations at the same time on your Flashpro unit, and you can switch between the 2 without your laptop, which is handy. So I've never had a problem using Flashpro in the past, and it never crossed my mind, but the problem is when I got to the parking lot, I uploaded the secondary calibration. What I did was, to do that, you've seen other videos online on how to do the secondary calibration without your laptop. You hold the data log button down with your right hand for like a second, then you push the program button for another second. You let go of the program button while still holding the data log button, and then let go of the data log button after you let go of the program button with the other hand. And then your program light will come on. It's a red light that lights up solid for like 20 or 30 seconds, just getting the car ready to program. And then once it starts flashing the ECU, the program button will start blinking. So what happened was I got the car to program. I had the red light come on, and that's all that happened. It just stayed solid, and then it turned off. It didn't start flashing and didn't start programming the ECU. So while I was sitting in the parking lot at the Honda dealership, I couldn't flash a tune to the car. I didn't have my laptop with me. My laptop's 2 hours away in back where my apartment is, and I couldn't get a tune on the car, let alone I couldn't even put the tune that was on the car that won't pass inspection back on the car, because this would not program either tune to the car. And it took the tune that was on the car off the car. Turned the car on, the car had no tune, and I was stuck in the parking lot. So I was sitting there on my phone. I couldn't even start the car. The fuel pump wouldn't prime when I put the key in or anything. It had no tune on the ECU. So I'm reading online on my phone. I'm like, oh my god, the ECU is fried. But I was thinking like, oh my god, I'm gonna need the car towed. My parents aren't even in town this weekend. I got no one to come get me. So luckily I called a few friends, and I was able to get a buddy of mine to pick me up from the dealership. So once I got it figured out what I did wrong, it was actually my fault. I posted on a Facebook group that I'm a part of, and they're actually very helpful. And it kind of tipped me off to why the Flashpro was not tuning the car. So what happened is, a few months ago, a buddy of mine sent me a data log file, and he's like all motor right now and getting tuned and whatnot. He wanted me to take a look at it, check out the air-fuel ratios and whatnot. So it wouldn't let me look at his data log unless I updated my version of Flashpro Manager on my computer itself. So I updated the version, everything was good, and looked at his data log. And I hadn't actually used my Flashpro on this car in about 2 years since I got tuned. It's been running the same tune. I haven't changed the setup at all. So I plugged the Flashpro in the computer and whatnot. I was like, all right, I might as well update the Flashpro while I got the program updated. And the only thing I did not do is, once you update the firmware on your Flashpro to the current version of Flashpro Manager on your laptop, you must download both your primary and your secondary calibration and re-upload them to the Flashpro. What I did was I just deleted both off the Flashpro, knowing that I still had them saved to my computer, and then re-uploaded each individually to the Flashpro from my computer. Alright, so I got my Flashpro hooked up to the computer now, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is what you're going to get for your calibrations tab in Flashpro Manager. There's my primary calibration, there's my backup one for inspection. And you got to make sure that the version, the V2.4.2.0, that on each calibration has to match your Flashpro Manager version. If that doesn't match, your tunes will be outdated, and the Flashpro firmware on the unit itself will be updated, and they're going to conflict with each other. So that's going to basically brick your ECU, is what happened to me. Is it takes a tune off your car and it can't flash the new ones onto the car because these versions don't match. So don't be stranded like me. I'm glad I got it figured out, but just make sure you guys are always keeping up to date with your versions and your tunes and your Flashpro, because if you don't pay attention to that, you'll end up stranded like me. And well, so long story short, the car did pass inspection. It just took half of a day to get it to pass. So I hope this video wasn't too long. I didn't talk too much, I hope. But if I helped you guys out, that's my goal. So don't end up like me. Learn from my mistake, and always keep your stuff updated. So thanks for watching, and give my channel a subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks.